that you have people, on your team who can think in these different ways. Let's look at the last one, symbolic. Symbolic is how organizations create meaning and beliefs through symbols, including myths, rituals, and ceremonies, but also the branding. And so notice the logo that I have here. This is a symbol, so symbolic leadership, it is very important that people have some symbols, something to connect to, something that people can take a look at and it tells you what we are about. This is trusted excellence innovating. So that's part of this whole symbolic view. And there are people who are very good at developing these kinds of symbols and logos to match what the organization is about. We say that symbolic leaders believe that the essential task of management is to provide the vision and the inspiration, to keep people moving, to keep people energized and motivated to do the work. Often, symbolic leaders rely on what we call personal charisma. And the charisma really is about the influence that there are people that you want to follow. I know you all can think about examples in your life, and it could be you, of people who are very what we call personable. They can step into a room and make you feel important. There can be 100 people in the room, and they can look at you straight in your eye, or maybe the way that they touch your hand or lean into you, that they make you feel important. Out of all of these people in the room, I'm feeling important. And so we say they have this kind of a flair for drama to get people excited and committed to the organizational mission. From a symbolic perspective, we say a good leader is almost like a prophet, but a visionary. A prophet in the sense that they are able to see the future of the organization. They understand exactly where we're headed and how to get people there. They can paint a good picture for people. They're the visionaries. They use symbols, they tell stories, and frame experience in a way that gives people hope and meaning. I am high in symbolism, and I always blame it on my father. My father was a minister. He's now deceased. My father was a minister, and so, ministers tell stories all the time, that there are all of these analogies. There's a story for everything. And that tends to be me, in my personal life, or, definitely in leadership. When I met with staff, I would always like to give them a good story that was going to help move them forward. I always looked for analogies to give people hope. And so that's what that symbolism is about. So if there's a problem in the workplace, people are leaving, people are unhappy, we say that the structural people really want to take a look at the policies and procedures to make sure that they are clear, what's going on with this, and what does the data say about who's leaving. The human resource people are saying they're leaving because they need to be coached. They're leaving because they don't feel heard. We need to engage them more. Political people tend to be more focused on, we need to bring more resources in, until we can get more resources to maybe offer higher pay or to do other things. We need to develop networks and alliances out there, people that support us. The symbolic leader is saying, people just need someone that makes them feel good about the workplace, somebody that inspires them to move on. So that's you can see how putting them all together is important. Do we have the understanding that no one of these styles is better than the other? And no one person has to have all of these things. This is about you understanding who you are and strengthening who you are. But also that the diversity of ideas. Someone mentioned about the differences, and this is a part of diversity in honoring and respecting diversity. If I am not a structural person, that is fine, but maybe I am a very symbolic person, so I'm also very useful and I have some great skills to contribute. So it's about us knowing who we are and who the people around us is, and that it takes all of this to create a holistic workplace. Someone else asked, if you are not strong in the political or symbolic, but you want to be strong in that, can you be taught some skills for that? And that's something that, yeah, yes, you can. But also keep in mind, you want to know the people around you. So if I'm not strong in symbolic, then maybe my coworker is. And so maybe I can rely on that person to help with that part of it so that you don't have to do everything. And this is about valuing. Yes, that they are all four are equally important. But again, yeah, there may be circumstances in which a more structural perspective is needed to solve the situation, or it may be that a symbolic response is needed to solve this problem. So as you understand more about what the issue is and the problem, you can talk about where do we, is it a structural issue? Is it a human resource issue? Is it a political issue? Or is it a symbolic issue? And that's what we will be talking about in future work, is that not only does this describe your leadership skills, but think about, it also allows you to think about the problem from those four perspectives. Because if the problem is a human resource problem, then it can't be solved in a structural way. If the problem is a political problem, then you can't solve it from a symbolic or human. So that's Okay, and with that, my time is up. Thank you so much. And my day is just getting started. It's only 9:30 in the